Hello and welcome to English 079. This is a pre-college English course, and I just wanted to show you around the course so you can be successful each week that we are together. Of course, this is a 7.5 week class, so we move at a pretty quick pace. So I want to make sure that you understand all the expectations so that you can be successful each week that we are together. So if you notice on the screen, I am starting here in the Welcome Start Here page. And this is a great place that you'll, of course, start here. And then you can also refer to it throughout the course because it has lots of information. Of course, it has my contact information and how to get in touch with me. And further down here are the introductory documents, and I'll give you a big hint. For week 1 there is a quiz called the Introductory Documents Quiz. So that's where all of this is going to come from, especially the supplemental syllabus. So you'll open it here and that'll pull up the document that you can review, and you'll be able to find all the answers to the our very first quiz that you'll be taking. So you'll want to use that. But there's also some other important information, classroom expectations. There's a tracking calendar that tells you what you're going to be doing each week. A couple points to keep in mind. Each week the assignments are due on Saturday. So week 1 is really short. We started on Wednesday and we'll end on Saturday. So it's just a few days, but there's only just a couple quick assignments just to kind of get you started. But every week after that is due on that Saturday of that week. The course opens on Sunday and then it's due on that following Saturday, except for that last little tiny week that we end week 7.5. That'll open on Friday and then it'll end on that Monday. Of course, all the information is there. And then each week I have announcements, and it also has the due dates in there to remind you. Of course, we have the course syllabus, the session dates, and then the ADA disclosure. So this is an important information about this course. This is a pass or fail course. Of course, I want 100% of you to be able to pass the course. So you will not get a grade like A, B, C, or D, but you will get a P or an F. P for pass and F for fail. So how do we know? How do we determine a pass or fail grade? So that's going to be, you have to have earned 70% on all of the assignments for this course. So this is a good page to come back to if you need some other information about how to do just some different things navigating in our learning management system, which is Blackboard. So there's a video on how you can navigate through the course, and it shows you the different weeks set up. Of course, you know, we have 7.5 weeks together, and each week has assignments. So this kind of gives you an overview of that. If you want to know more information about posting on discussion boards, there's a video here. And then, of course, how to check your grades and feedback so that you know that you're staying on track for the 70% or higher. And then if you have any questions about submitting an assignment, this is a great way to show you how to submit assignments. Some weeks everything will just be done within Blackboard. Like for instance, week 1 is the discussion board and the introductory documents. So there's nothing to upload or add, but then we'll be working on a writing assignment, so you'll be uploading Word documents from that. All right, so if you have any questions, you can always ask your, go to the Ask Your Instructor tab, but just be aware that that goes to everybody in the class. But so if you have anything specific just for me about your performance on anything or anything about your grade, then you can just email me directly. Okay, so a couple other things that I want to show you on here. Of course, here are the weeks tabs, and that'll go through on your page. Mine show all of them, but on your page it'll be on the week that we're starting on. So right now we're still in week 1. So when you click on here, it has a lecture. We can just kind of go through it. There'll always be a lecture. Well, this is some information about a program that's available to you free as a Brighton Stratton student. But each week you'll start with a lecture, which you can click here, and it is an kind of an interactive lecture that you can click through. And there's also something that you can download if you just want to download the document. Every week we have a discussion board post, so that's really the heartbeat of our class, and I'll talk a little bit more about the requirements here, but you'll find out what you're going to be posting on each week, and then you'll be able to click on and see what your classmates have written and also what I've written. I'll have a post in there each week as well. And then for week 1, of course, is this first introductory documents quiz. Remember, I told you where to find the answers, and then you'll take that. So this week is very short, but there's also just really short things for you to get started on. Okay, so if you have any question about Microsoft 365, here's the tab for you to click. Every student has a free Microsoft 365 account, so you'll be able to upload any documents that you need, anything that goes along with that. Here's that Ask Your Instructor tab, so if you want something that goes to the entire class and I'll respond there, that'll be great. Or if you want to talk to me directly about something to do with your performance, and you'll email me. The announcements is another great place to go. Of course, we're here at the beginning, so it's everything is in here, but I will have an announcement every week in here, usually more than one, so you always want to make sure you click here, and this will usually pop up when you first log into the class. This is usually the first thing that you'll see, and then and sometimes if I'm sending it out directly, you'll receive that notification in your email. Of course, this is an important part to check. Each week are your grades. You'll know what your grade is, whether it's been graded. You'll be able to see if it's something that's missing, if it has a 0, and then you'll be able to go back and make sure you don't have a 0. And here's how you can send an email to me. Here's another part that I would like to show you, and this kind of puts us into the next discussion about the weekly discussion board posts. All right, here's some student resources, and this tab is very helpful because it has some information about things that you might need. For our course, one of the things that you're going to be doing is every week is a weekly discussion board, and it's how, you know, if we were together in person, we would sit and talk about the topics each week, and I'd have questions for you and you would answer and share, but since we are working on this asynchronously, everybody's working on it at a different time during each week, this kind of simulates that discussion. So I'll have some posts in there that you can respond to. You can respond to your classmates, but there is this rubric that you will follow, and that is right here. So, and this is real important because you want to, actually, I already have it pulled up here, I do believe. Yep, here it is. You'll want to try and get 100 on each of these because this really is a good base for your overall grade, because remember, you know, you're trying to make sure you get 70 or over. So you want to be in this meets expectations category. Okay, so there's just a few things that you'll need to remember. The first thing that you're going to do is write your initial post. There'll be a prompt. If you remember back in the weeks section, there's a focus of the week that you'll be writing on. So that's your initial post. You create the thread and you respond to that. So you want to make sure that that is in the assigned week in order to get full credit, and your word count is about 100. So that's a nice healthy paragraph. It's usually about 4 to 6 sentences, and it fully answers what the questions are. Okay, so that's the first part. And the second part is the interaction post. So if everyone just posts one time and then there's no back and forth, then it isn't really much of a discussion. So what you'll want to do is you need to respond to 3 other posts during that assigned week. Okay, so for example, and this really gets started in week 2, because week 3 we're just together a few days and then we move on to week 2. So week 2 opens on Sunday, and then you will write your initial post. The rule of thumb to kind of follow with that is to try and get that initial post as soon as you can. You know, earlier in the week the better, but try and always have it done by that Wednesday. So then once you have posted your initial post and you followed all the guidelines here, you're going to go back and find 3 other posts to respond to. It can be something that I've written, or it could be something that your classmates have written. So you want to have 3. And then the second part of getting this 100% each week on the discussion board is coming back and making sure you're active through the week. So that's at least 3 different days. And the reason we do that, and I know sometimes students are like, well, this is an online class and we should have some flexibility. However, what we found, if we don't have that 3-day minimum requirement, then everybody's doing it like late Saturday night before the deadline is due. And that kind of defeats the purpose of having an interactive and engaging discussion board. So if we get those 3 days in, so if you do, so the week opens on Sunday. A lot of students like to start right off on Sunday, or even on Monday. So then you have plenty of time to be able to do that. Some students do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so then that part is done, and if they want to go back and look and see what each other have written, is good. And then some students tend to wait till the end, but then sometimes what happens if, life situations pop up in your life, then you might not be able to get back to that to get that requirement. So I encourage you to get it done earlier in the week rather than later. And then the last part is, while these are informal posts, it's not like a formal written document or anything like that, you do want to be mindful of anything that your name's attached to. You want to put your best effort forward, meaning to make sure that you have good grammar, you're talking complete sentences, because this isn't a text, and we've gotten real comfortable with communicating with friends and family, and texting and things are shortened, but this one you want to make sure things are spelled out, you're using punctuation, and you're using capitalization. So you want to leave out any of the texting or the chatting language. So these are going to be really, really nice sentences. All right, so that's how you're going to get 100% each week, starting in week 2. So then there's some other information on here. We're not going to hit everything that you need for this class, but some of but you'll have a similar page like this in all of your other classes. So so it's very nice to meet you. I'm excited to get started with you in this class, and we're going to have a lot of fun together. We're also going to learn a lot. So thank you, and looking forward to seeing you in class.